And our first speaker, Olivier Crespin, is a proprietor of the third model. Olivier is the Chief Executive Officer at Zandbank. Every time I say Zandbank, Olivier said, we are definitely launching soon. I have to put that in brackets. Zand is a fully digital bank. So literally, it is a brand new speedboat. They've been established for a while. We're very fortunate at SmartStream to be part of that journey. And there's some incredibly exciting stuff going on, both in terms of technology outlook, both in terms of the business model. So I'm going to get off the stage and let Olivier enthrall you with his vision and story. So your appreciation, please. My pleasure. The stage is all yours.
Okay. I don't know where is the clicker.
The clicker's just there.
Okay. Thank you. So it's very nice to be here today. It's a little bit weird as well because it has been, I think, 2 years maybe, that I didn't get an opportunity to go on stage because all the presentations were on Zoom. So hopefully we are back on stage for some time now, and we don't need to go back to Zoom for this kind of event because it's really important to have the interaction. And very happy to present today about what we are doing. So let me go back. Okay, so today I want to talk about the opportunities and challenges about that are facing digital bank. And there are obviously a lot of opportunities, but we'll see as well that opportunity have as well challenges. And opportunities is obviously when you ask, okay, you start a digital bank from scratch, you don't have any legacy. That's, I think, the first opportunity, not having a legacy. And when you talk about legacy, many people think about technology legacy. But it's not only about technology legacy, it's about mindset legacy, it's about being afraid to change. And why it's so difficult in a traditional bank is because there is a lot of resistance to change internally, and a fear of cannibalization of existing businesses. So we can really start a bank from scratch with a white page of paper. The second opportunity you have is that if you're able to bring different supporters, like leverage partners, is also a great opportunity because when you build a digital bank, you want to be able to connect to ecosystem. So if you're able to assemble a big player, which are not necessarily from a banking industry, is a really great opportunity. The third opportunity is to be able to launch products, new products coming. And to be able to do that, you really need to get a banking license. And people ask me, you know, in UAE, there are like 52 banks already. So why are you getting a bank license? You know, UAE is quite different from many markets. There is no concept of digital bank license. You need to apply for a full bank license. So we apply for a full bank license and we got it. But why is there a new bank license? In fact, there are two right now for digital bank, ourselves, Zand, and ADQ is coming. It's because the government, I think the country, understands that to be able to support the digital agenda of the country of UAE, you need a bank with fully native digital, who is going to be able to integrate with the ecosystem and so on, and be able to support the digital business, because not only digital players that you have in UAE, like for example, Noon.com, Namshi, Karim, but the traditional business as well converting themselves and digitalizing themselves. So it's very frequent when we go and meet a traditional corporate that we are meeting the guys we working there coming from Amazon and is coming there to transform them as well. So he's very happy to talk with a digital bank team, the data scientists, etc. The fourth aspect is really, when you say digital bank, you say digital and you say bank. That means you need to balance between two DNAs. The DNA of banking, which is around trust, risk management, compliance with regulation, risk assessment, you cannot compromise on that. This is why you get your license and why your client will feel that they can trust you. So for this, you need to be able to bring people who are coming from banking, the banking side. So a lot of the function on the business, compliance, risk are coming from a banking industry. But there are people who are ready to change. We have learned over the years and want to transform themselves. For example, the head of risk that is here, Amit, for Zend, he has been a head of risk in a traditional bank, but he has also a computer science degree from Berkeley University. So he's someone who understands analytics and is going to be able to bridge between digital and traditional and banking. And you need as well to get people coming from the digital space, because you need to have the DNA of digital. DNA of digital is about customer centricity, about better usage of analytics. It's also about being able to use new technology and new platform, like everything on the cloud, Kubernetes, and so on, to have a very good technology and data architecture. So for this, we need to bring, one of the opportunities to be able to bring people coming from a digital player. We have some people coming from Google, from Virgin Mobile, from tech company, very advanced tech company, who are able to help us to deliver this. So this is a balance between the two that we constantly want to bring together. The next aspect is branding and how you want to position yourself. And I'm very fortunate to have a friend who is a very famous designer. His name is Philip Stark. I don't know if you know him. He has been working with Apple, Steve Jobs. He has designed the yacht of Steve Jobs, but he has built, he has created 10,000 products, from glasses, watches, phones, building, hotels, Hilton Hotel, etc. Target is also designing the Virgin design for their space lab, etc. So a very interesting person. And when I started the bank, I told him, look, I would like you to help me to define, when we define the essence of the bank, what we want to represent. We define the name, we can define the logo, we will define some customer experience. And a lot is going to come about it. And you have time at the end, I will explain to you where Zend is coming from and what Zend is meaning. And he was very excited, right, to come up and help to do that. The last aspect, opportunity, is that because we build on a bank from scratch, and because we can, from scratch, map everything you do in the latest technology, that give you a great opportunity to be able to lift and ship, right? And move your bank, potentially create, we are starting here in UAE, but our intention is to move to other countries and be able to replicate what we are doing. And we are open to do it on our own name, or through franchise, or through white labeling as well. So we are really developing that too. Try to change. The clicker doesn't work.
We have some help in the clicker.
Ah, okay. So when you have identified all these opportunities, we need to keep the focus. And this is what we are always thinking. What we are going to offer it has to be adding value. We don't want necessarily to offer exactly the same product as any other bank in the market. So we are looking at a few parameters to assess what we do. First of all, we don't consider ourselves as a bank. We consider ourselves as a platform with a banking license. There are a lot of platforms, right? Like, for example, Google is a platform, Karim is a platform, and so on. Noon.com is a platform. But you don't have a lot to have a banking license. And first, what we are adding is really the banking license. What is the banking license allowing? The banking license allows to be able to give, for example, interest on deposit, to give loans, to give a maybe different kind of product to clients. So this is what we build ourselves. And our objective is really to integrate with ecosystem. And primarily, we are going to integrate to ecosystem. For example, we are not going to necessarily give a loan to SME who is just coming on his own. We give a loan to SME who belong to an ecosystem we understand. Because we understand the ecosystem, because we have the right data platform, we are able to assess better the risk and be able to give him a better rate for his loan. So it's what we call ecosystem link financing. So a lot of things we do is really linked to this. We'll go into products that we can deliver digitally only. Like, for example, people ask me, are you going to provide mortgage? We don't think that the market is ready for that because there is no digital infrastructure yet, but to be able to do everything end-to-end digitally. There is a lot of paper to be signed, etc. A lot of registries that are not necessarily accessible digitally. So we are not going to do mortgage, but we'll probably do it when we can tokenize a mortgage. And they will be into this. Can we add value because we have good analytics as well? Yes, in this case we'll do. Is it what we do supporting the UAE digital economy? If it's not adding value, if we say all the bank doing it and we are not creating a difference, we are not going to go into it. And obviously, we want to optimize the capital usage. So balancing between income revenue and fee revenue is very important. So there are different challenges that come up, and they may be different in depending on the kind of business you're in. Retail banking, and we are fortunate because we do both retail and corporate banking. Retail banking, the challenge is customer acquisition. At the beginning, it usually you can see the digital player who are on digital sites, they take a long time to come to profit because it's an Alibaba model. First 4 years, you acquire clients. 4 to 7 years, you start monetizing your client a little bit more. And then 7 to 10, you improve on your ROE. So it takes time. So that's the challenge really about customer acquisition. In our case, because we have good ecosystem with a company like Emar, Noon, Alel, which is TransGuard and so on, we can go a little bit faster, but it's going to take time. On the corporate side is the challenge. There are a lot of challenges because it's also much more complex to create a corporate bank. In terms of onboarding, is more difficult and you have many shareholders in a company, many directors, many different things. So there is a lot more challenge. But on the corporate side, particularly if you do supply chain finance through ecosystem link financing, you can get back to be profitable much faster because ticket size are bigger and you can have you can go much faster. And the customer acquisition is not such a challenge as it can be in a retail space. And the last point is another area where we want to make an impact is what we call the 360-degree platform, which is a bank in a box. And usually the challenge when you have a bank in a box is the bank in a box has not been necessarily built with the compliance guy, with the risk people, with the operation guy, and so on. It's usually built in isolation with the technology team. And first, over the last 2 years, we have a great chance to be able to build everything from scratch with the compliance team, with an operation team, with a risk team, etc. So usually if you open a bank in a box, you open the box, you have a lot of bank in a box coming. But when the bank meets or the technology meets risk, there is a lot of things to be changed. Compliance. So we believe, right, that we have addressed this challenge by being able to have the right people in a team and doing it. Next, really we have on these areas, this is how we really are going to position ourselves. So on retail, corporate, and 360 platform. Okay. Just want to spend some time because many people ask me, what is Zend? And it has a story, right? So Zend is a combination between sand, because obviously you have a lot of sand here, but we wanted to make it stronger. So we call it Zend. And why Zend? And also it happened in Arabic, Zend means kind of strength. And why we choose this? Again, we work with Philip Stark on doing that. If you look at all the particles of sands, they're all unique and beautiful. And that represents the employees in the bank, different skills. That also represents our partners because we are not building everything ourselves, right? We are orchestrator of technology as well. So we pick and at the best that can come together. Then it can represent as well the clients that are all unique, beautiful, different. And when you start putting all these sense particles together, you start creating the ecosystem. You start creating the community. You start creating a strength that keep moving. And you can build bridges. You can build cities. Imagine a dune moving that you cannot stop. And you end up, in our app and so on, you have all this kind of movement. You end up a logo in an orb, and the orb is not complete because we'll always evolve and keep evolving in product, technology, and so on. Zend as well is sand, silicon, digital. And the last point is that when you read Zend reverse, you have DNA Z, which means latest generation of company. So this represents our mission statement. This represents what we want to be. We want to be digital. We want to be on a cloud. We want to be on an ecosystem. We want to bring people together. We want to bring solutions together. This is what we want to represent in the market. So we can explain our logo has a history, our name has a history, and every product we build, we use this as well as a guideline. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer.